Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all that are listening to this episode. Thank you, thank you. I am your host and presenter, Murray Stewart, and this is Blind Magic in Alice Springs. Recovering or rehabbing from strokes. So what I thought I'd do today is to talk to you both as a myotherapist who has treated people with strokes, but I also, of course, have had my own battles with recovering from a couple of strokes. So I can talk from both perspectives. Okay, so what are the crucial elements when rehabbing from strokes? Well, I would say that the first and most important element is get to know your stroke if you are a sufferer, and if you are a therapist, getting to know the client's stroke is very, very important. And when I say getting to know, the most important element is to know exactly what part of the brain has been affected. That's right, where the storm occurred. In the brain, a classic example, of course, is if the stroke has damaged the central cortex, then these symptoms will mainly manifest on the left side of the body. Now, strokes can have many and varied effects on people. They can result in deficits of a cognitive kind. That's right, they can. Or it can be sensory or motor neurological. So if it's sensory, the patient or the client is likely to have some areas of paresthesia or numbness. There might be a strength deficit. Yeah, so that could be an issue. If it's cognitive, then there may be some issues with memory loss, and I guess there could also be some speech impediments. So talking from my point of view, one of the strokes that affected me has in fact resulted in some paresthesia on my left side or numbness. And I've also I do have some speech issues. Sometimes my language is a little slow, and I have got a speech impediment, particularly where some of the W words are concerned. But I've said it time and time again, I'm very, very lucky. So when it comes to treating people with strokes, as I said, because of the many and varied signs and symptoms, then it's crucial that you get to know the patient and their history, where the stroke occurred, and therefore what part of the brain has been affected, and what deficits, therefore, that they have. So if it's sensory and motor neurological issues that the patient has, then massage is one of your greatest weapons. When I say greatest weapons, greatest tools to ensure that the recovery begins to occur. Also, exercise physiology. That's right. So with massage and with exercise physiology, you are constantly feeding messages back to the brain. That's right, utilising the neuroplasticity of the brain to find new pathways toward recovery. Massage has certainly been a great tool for me, a wonderful tool for me. If the issues are more cognitive, then you might like to suggest to your client or patient, if you're a therapist, that you undertake learning a language or learning a musical instrument, which is exactly what I have done. Testing yourself, listening and verbalizing, constantly, as I said, supplying the brain with nourishment and with input. Yeah, exercising those cognitive skills most definitely assists with rehab. Yeah, they're some of the things that I strongly suggest that you follow up on, both as someone who may have suffered a stroke, but also if you're treating someone with a stroke history. So what other things can I suggest may be of value when either treating someone or, as I said, if you're a sufferer? Well, I did mention learning an instrument. Yeah, that's right. I'll be learning the piano, getting back to that very, very soon. I think just experiencing the world all over again. So maybe some OT assistance might also be of some value. But getting out in the world, getting out in the world and smelling those flowers, literally, once again, giving the brain some new input. Yeah, you're like a babe in the woods. And so from a therapist's point of view, just ensuring that you instruct the person to go for a walk at least once a day, along with all of your other approaches of a sensory motor neurological nature. Throw all these together and you are absolutely utilizing the brain's neuroplasticity. The brain is remarkable, absolutely remarkable, and therefore it has an incredible ability to renew, to regenerate, to rebuild. And as I said, I have and will continue to do exactly that as someone who's rehabbing, but also as a therapist. I think that my experience has actually made me a far more effective therapist when dealing with stroke victims. And I look forward to utilising this dividend in order to go forward as a therapist. And I keep saying, and I say it again and again, that your deficits are your advantage. Absolutely. Your deficits are also very, very important in banking that experience and being able to deliver your knowledge to help those around you, even if it's just from one family member to another or one friend to another. But in my case, as a myotherapist, as a therapist to my clients, I'm definitely a better therapist as a result of my experience and my deficits. Okay, folks, that has been episode 923. That's right, 923, a Blind Magic Communications production.
924, Murray.
Or, here we go, 924. There you go, there's one of my deficits on full display. Memory. All right, 924. This has been a Blind Magic Communications production.